Hey everyone, welcome to Kryptonite Maneuver. My name is Shane and I'm your host for this YouTube channel. And in today's video, I'm going to talk a little bit about Superman and Lois, the pilot episode. We'll talk a little bit about Jonathan and Jordan. I'm also going to talk about Lex Luthor and what that means to the series. And then I'm also going to conclude by talking about what's next for the series. So stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe to the channel. Like this type of video. That way it lets me know what videos you like exactly. And feel free to comment as well. I appreciate all your comments. So in today's video, I'm going to talk a little bit about Superman and Lois. My thoughts on the whole pilot episode. I thought it was actually fantastic. Not a huge fan of some of the other TV shows. Batwoman. The Flash was not too bad. The first season was pretty good. Supergirl, I can only watch a few episodes of that one. So I was a little bit nervous. I'll tell you the truth. I was a little bit nervous when I first heard that they were making a Superman and Lois movie. I remember the old Lois and Clark TV series, and that was pretty cool with Dean Cain and Terry Hatcher. A little bit campy. They shied away from the special effects in that one, so it wasn't. I don't know. It was kind of a low budget series. The actors were fantastic. Dean Cain is a fantastic actor. Absolutely love him. Same thing with Terry Hatcher. They were great together. They had great chemistry. It was funny, all that kind of stuff. It was just a series that you couldn't really take too serious. Now Smallville came along. That was pretty good. That was a good show, good series. It was like 10 seasons or something like that. The only thing I didn't like about Smallville is it took 10 years or so to reveal Clark Kent as Superman. That was too long. Other than that, like it was pretty good. So when this series was introduced, I was like, oh, I'm not sure what it's going to be like. A little bit nervous. But when I watched the pilot, it was freaking amazing. I'd give it probably a 7.5 out of a 10, and I'll tell you why. But it was good. I watched it twice, and I'll probably watch it again. The special effects were out of control. It was almost like you could actually watch it in a movie theater. That's how good it was. There's a couple of scenes, excuse me, when Superman was called to the nuclear reactor. That scene of him flying along the water was out of control. Love that. The sound, everything. It felt like this guy was on a mission. I actually liked it. There's a few scenes in there that were pretty cool. Some of the slow-mo scenes of Superman breaking through the wall, all that kind of good stuff. And there's going to be, I should have mentioned at the beginning of this video, it's going to be a little bit of spoilers. So hopefully you've watched it. If you haven't, what can I say? It's YouTube. Like you can't go anywhere now without there being a little bit of spoilers. So if you didn't want any spoilers, you should have watched the show. So I was really happy with the pilot. I liked the whole interaction with Clark, Lois, and his two sons, which I'll talk about in a few minutes. I really liked John and Jonathan. I liked the whole chemistry together. The idea of them leaving Metropolis to go to Smallville, I got mixed feelings about that. I wanted to actually see some interaction with Metropolis a little bit more. Maybe have Lois in Metropolis while Clark is dealing with stuff on the farm. I don't know how far away Smallville is. It's in Kansas. Don't know where Metropolis is. In Batman versus Superman, Gotham City and Metropolis were like this. They were right together. So I don't know how far away. Kind of feels like Metropolis is not too far away. So that could work. But yeah, overall, I was pretty happy. John and Jonathan, John and Jordan, great, great idea. I've never heard of them taking it in this direction, CW, before. I knew they had, uh, speaking of Lois and Clark, I knew they had one child, and I think it was, I didn't even see the episode, but I think it was in either Supergirl or Crisis Infinity or something like that. But the idea of having twins is kind of an interesting idea. You can actually have a little bit of creativity there. You can go in a bunch of directions. They were obviously playing with the idea that one of these kids has superpowers and the other one doesn't. So, as far as we know, so they played that up a bit. I kind of hope that they would stretch that out maybe over another episode or two. Some people might disagree and say, no, it's good to reveal that right away, and then you can, now you know what direction that you're going with. But I would have just maybe drug it out just a little bit more, maybe one more episode. But other than that, the acting was pretty good from these two kids. I thought they were fantastic. I like Jordan being a little bit darker. Almost felt a little bit like Brightburn, a little bit with the heat vision blowing up things. And then Jonathan was potentially a little bit campy, being perfect, gets to be on a football team and all that kind of stuff. They don't really mention that they're ripping his scholarship away from him and he has to live in Smallville. So that'll be interesting to see what they're going to do in the next few episodes. I believe there's 15 for this season. Let's talk about Lex Luthor. Lex, buddy, baby, buddy. I wasn't sure who the bad guy was going to be. I was hoping maybe Brainiac because I think that would have been cool. But as it was progressing, well, they threw you off a little bit by talking about you destroyed my world, and then there was an inscription at one of the nuclear facilities in Kryptonite. So that threw me off a bit. I thought it's got to be Brainiac. And then when I saw Lex Luthor, fighting Batman, fighting Superman, it kind of felt like he was Batman or Iron Man in the suit. That's the only way that he could take Superman, obviously. So it was a little bit rushed at the end. And then Lex Luthor basically harpoons Superman in a chest and leaves him for dead. Now, I struggled with this a little bit, thinking, why would you put that so early and make Superman almost get killed, like almost get killed, and then Lex would leave? I think if he killed Superman, he doesn't want to be around. So that makes sense that he would just let Superman. It was a good shot. It was basically a kill shot to the chest. So he probably didn't want to, although they were fighting in the city. That part was a little bit confusing as to why he left Superman just fall to the earth. I think I probably should have finished the job, followed him down, and then maybe stabbed him a couple times, slit his throat, whatever. I know that's kind of dark. But Lex, if you're going to do it right, take the guy out. So then we find out at the end of the show that maybe it's Captain Luthor. So that was kind of confusing to me. I wasn't sure where in any of the comics that I've read that came up. So this could be some kind of a multi-universe thing going on. Maybe he's from Earth 50 or Earth 60 or whatever. Who knows? So that was all pretty good. So what's next? What's next for Superman and Lois? The benchmark is here, and I'm worried. I'm actually worried that they're not going to be able to deliver over the next 3, 4, 5 episodes. My fear is it's going to get all CW-ish and start turning into Supergirl, Batwoman, a little bit of a Flash. The Arrow's not too bad, but I think it got a little bit weird from what I'm hearing. I think I watched only a few episodes of Arrow. Green Arrow was one of my favorite characters in the comics. I really like Green Arrow. But I'm not sure what direction they're going to go in following this pilot. I know they put a ton of money in this episode. So my fear is they're not going to have as much money for special effects. They're not going to have as much money for writing. the creative writing process, all that kind of good stuff. So I'm a little concerned. That's why I gave it a 7.5, because it's easy to do a pilot, jam a bunch of homage sequences in there, little tilts to action comics, other movies. You can do that. That's easy, but try and do that in the next episode. Keep doing nods. It's not going to work. So that's it. That's it for Kryptonite Maneuver. Hope you like this review of the pilot episode of Superman and Lois. And don't forget to subscribe on your way out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Bye for now.